Yes. Okay.
So the next nama after Sutantu is Bija Santati.
Bija Santati.
Bija Santati, Bija seeds, Santati is a series. So Bija Santati means a series of Bijas. Now, the word Bija, apart from referring to the seeds that we know, it refers to a class of phonemes or sounds. We call it as Bija Aksharas. Now, these Bija Aksharas basically become the most integral or the drivers which add to the potency of the mantra. Now, the concept of mantra in the Agama and any school that adheres to Agama like Trika is that you need to distinguish between the sound aspect and the aspect that adds to the potency to the sound. Unlike other schools of thought where Shabda or the sound is a jada, it is an insentient. In our system, mantras are not like any Shabda. Mantras are the Sharira or the body of a distinct Pramatra Varga or uh, a perceiver, which we call as the mantra. And there are three at this level: mantra, mantresha, mantra
Mantra
maheshwar.
Maheshwar. Yeah.
So these are the three in the
Subject.
Sapta Paramatra Varga.
Yeah.
So the mantras are conscious entities, divine conscious entities. And why are we saying that it is our conceptualization is different? If you just think, when you look at Shabda, the Shabda is in the Tattva scheme at the Atma Tattva level. Atma Tattva is the 24 set of Tattvas starting from the Prakriti onwards.
Prithvi to Purush.
Prakriti till the Prithvi.
Yeah.
So it is at the Atma Tattva level when we speak of the sound. Whereas Mantra, Mantresha, Mantra Maheshwara operate above, even above the Vidya Tattva level.
Right.
So they are actually operating at the Mahamaya stage, which is in between the Sad, in between the Shiva Tattva and the Vidya Tattva.
To the Vidya Tattva. Yeah.
So these mantras, for our this thing, they have the Sharira, Shabda Sharira. So Shabda Rashi is only their Sharira, but there is that conscious entity which gives the potency to the mantra, which is called as Mantra Virya. And Shiva Sutra dedicates a lot of at least 2 full sutras for explaining what a Mantra Virya is. Mantra Virya is nothing but eye consciousness. So all the 70 crore mantras which the Agamas speak, they have their mantra virya as eye consciousness, which means all the mantras have the potency to lead the sadhaka towards the realization of the fact that, or towards recognizing his personal or his identity. So this sharira of the mantra, and they have to be different from the normal linguistic build-up that we have. So therefore, the letters that are used in these mantras, they are called as bija aksharas. It is called as bija aksharas. Number one, akshara. Akshara means that which does not change. Kshara means that which changes. Akshara, that which does not undergo any change. So there is the immutable, which is nothing but pure consciousness, which is Shiva himself, who is who has the potency, and it is this potency of Shiva which is expressed in the form of the manifested prapancha or manifested world which we are experiencing. So it is by his Swatantriya Shakti he displays his Ichha and manifests as the prapancha.
Hmm.
So this potency is called as the bija. The potency of Shiva is called as the bija. So bija akshara is the aspect where it holds the potency to manifest. At the same time, we should not forget the fact that Shiva or consciousness is immutable. He is not undergoing transformation. All he is doing is he's allowing the manifestation to happen, at the same time being changes. So how is this, let's say, how can we understand it? Because this is theoretical. So how does the Agama or the Tantra Shastra show us this in practice?
Hmm.
Normally, the Bija Aksharas have the Anuswara in them. Whether it is Om, whether it is Hreem, whether it is Hum, they have the Anuswara in them. Now, the golden rule of Anuswara is Anuswara cannot stand independent. It will always be with some vowel. Okay? Anuswara we cannot experience or even say Anuswara without a vowel preceding it.
Correct.
You have to have some vowel before it. So the vowel we know is Shiva.
Hmm.
All the 16 vowels represent Shiva, wherein the last two, which is the Anuswara and the Visarga, in the Anuswara stage, we know that he is ready to manifest, and the Visarga is he is letting go. That is why it is called as Visarga. And that letting go is nothing but his own reflection. Therefore, the Bija is reflected into another Bija, which becomes the Anuswara symbol for us. And once he let goes, immediately we start with the Shakti Tattva. So this is, so the Bija Aksharas having Anuswara shows the immutable I consciousness ready to manifest with because of its innate potency to manifest itself. So this is the reason why the Bija Aksharas have a particular format. So Bija Santati as a Nama, in the Sahasranama, what we have to understand is series of Bija. It is a series of Bija, which means that she manifests herself in series of Bija. Okay. And what does these Bija do? During the mantra sadhana, the Bija Aksharas have a very, I should not say useful role, but how they function is this. Normally, the mantra will have the Bija Akshara at the end also. So when we are doing the yoga, yogic way of contemplation on the mantra, what we will do is we will bring the last vowel to the Agnya. Okay? Say, for example, if you are doing a Shaiva Pranava, I am just using a thing. So, U. So, U will be brought up to the Agnya Chakra level. After that, that Im sound that we have, that Im will merge slowly into the subtler aspects, which we call as Navanada. Okay, so there are 9 positions above the Agnya, all the way up to the Sahasrara. So this slowly merges till it is undifferentiated consciousness in the Sahasrara, which we call as Mahashunya. So this is how the Bija Aksharas aid the sadhaka in realizing through the Japa sadhana. And she manifests herself in different bijas to suit the persona as per the requirement decided by the guru, and guru gives the upadesha of that particular bija akshara or the mantra having that particular bija akshara. So we have at least 4 pranavas starting from the Vaidika pranava and other bija aksharas also. So they all function in more or less a similar manner. So she is called as Bija Santati.
Santati.
So wherein she expresses herself as the Bija Akshara, aiding the Nada Upasana or the Mantra Upasana. Next Nama is
Jagadji.
Jagat Jiva.
Jagat Jiva.
One who gives life to the Jagat. One who gives life to the Jagat. Now, the word Jagat normally is world, but it is not just the earth or the our solar system as we tend to understand when we say Jagats. So in our routine conversation, if the word Jagat comes, the first picture that comes to our mind or the first flash of understanding that comes to our mind is the place around us. Whereas in the Darshanas, the word Jagat represents the entire cosmic manifestation.
Manifestation, right.
Because when we speak of the triad, we speak of Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat. So these are the 3 ends of the triangle. And what is the relation between these 3? That is the trickier question which all the darshanas are trying to resolve in one way or other. Whether it is Advaita, whether it is the Nyaya, whether it is Vishittadvaita, everybody is trying to resolve this equation between the 3 entities, including the Agamas. So the word Jagat represents the entire cosmic manifestation. Okay, coming from our system point of view, how do we understand Jagat? This is where normally an etymological understanding really brings a lot of clarity to our thought process. The word Jagat is derived from the Sanskrit dhatu gam gach, to go. So when you say saha gachati, he is going. So that comes from the root word gam, to go. It is from this gam we have the word Jagat. Okay, it undergoes some morphological transformation and we get the word Jagat. So Jagat means that which moves. Basically, the root idea, okay, will express itself in the word in some way or the other. So Jagat means that which moves. And movement here means a series of transformation. So the way we have to understand is that Jagat means series of transformation. And that transformation happens at or starting from in the Atma Tattva level. So what we call as Jagat is nothing but the sum total of the entire Atma Tattva. Okay? Jagat Jiva. So Devi is the one who provides, one who infuses the life into the Jagat. Sorry.
Jagat
So
Bija.
infusing life into Jagat means making Jagat possible, right? That is what is giving life. Okay. Bringing it into existence. So Devi, and we all know, even though we use the word Shiva, okay, it is Shakti who is transforming. Okay, it is that Vimarshana which is transforming into the entire Prapancha. So it is Shakti who will become Sadashiva, okay, who will manifest as Ishvara, who will manifest as Shuddha Vidya, etc. So it is she, by wheeling using the Mahamaya, okay, she ensures that the the Bheda, or the differentiated experience that we have is possible, because Jagat is nothing but the plane where we have differentiated experience, where we experience the object separate from the experience. So she, as Mahamaya, is responsible for the manifestation of the differentiated universe. Therefore, she is Jagat Jiva. And the next Nama,
Jagat Bija.
Jagat Bija. Bija here means life, or the origin. Just as the seed is the starting point, okay, from where the entire plant or the tree comes out. Similarly, she is the starting point. Why? Because it is she who is transforming. Therefore, she is the starting point of the manifested reality. So she is Jagat Bija also. Basically, both the namas tend to mean the same. Jagat Jiva is the explanation from the Mahamaya point of view. Jagat Bija is an explanation from Shakti Tattva point of view itself. She is the origin from where Sadashiva onwards, because only in Sadashiva that Idam manifests for the first time. Okay, so she is Jagat Bija. The next nama is
Jagat
Jagat Traya Hitaishini.
Shini. Trahiteshini.
So Jagat Trayam, three worlds. Okay, normally understood as the earth, the heaven, and
Patal.
the Patala, or the. Is this interpretation only spatial or spatial and temporal interpretation? Are we looking at the kind of stacking where Earth is here and the six bhuvanas which is described in the Puranas above, and the seven, okay, which is described below? So are we talking of some kind of an spatial or a stacking here when we refer to Jagat Trayam? For that matter, this understanding is purely Puranic in nature. We have to be very clear. The Agamas give out a slightly different and a better interpretation of how we should conceive the worlds. World is nothing but a place where you can have experience, right? Because we say Shiva, out of his infinite grace, also makes it possible by bringing forth four things: Tanu, Karana, Bhuvana, and Bhoga. Tanu means a body. Karana means the instruments in the body, which is eyes, ears, nose, etc. Bhuvana, a place for having the experience. And Bhoga, the objects of experience. So he brings forth these four things. And so therefore Bhuvana is understood as a place where you can have experience. Okay. So when we start from the smallest bhuvana as per the Agama, which is called as the Kalagni Rudra Bhuvana, and it ends with the Shiva Bhuvana, which is the highest bhuvana, totally 118 as per Malini Vijayottara. There are some other agamas which recognize more than 220 bhuvanas also. So 220 is nothing but subdividing a few bhuvanas in the previous list. Anyway, uh, uh, the nomenclature and this thing is only slightly different, but the conceptualization is the same. These bhuvanas are explained to exist, okay, within various kalas. So I think we should have a separate discussion or understanding of how can we connect the kala, the tattva, the bhuvana.
Yeah.
So the entire Shadadva is a very beautiful agamic concept.
Mm.
So bhuvanas are the planes of experience, are not mere physical places, as the Puranas makes us to understand. You can have experience even without presence of any physicality. Like what happens in a dream? In dream, we are having experience without the presence of any object, without any preconditions, without the laws of physics even applying in the dreams. Yet it is an experience that we are having. So, similarly, the planes of experience are actual bhuvanas. So, the experience can happen at the buddhi tattva level. Okay, the swapna is explained as an experience at the buddhi tattva level. So, other bhuvanas are also like this. So, when we speak, and what is that common denominator in all the experience? The common denominator in all the experience is an experiencer, an object to be experienced, and the process of the entire experience. Pramata,
Pramana,
Prameya, Pramana. It is these three which is called as the Jagat-traya. Okay, so the Agamas refer to these three, this triad, this trika as Jagat-traya. Because you go to any plane of experience, you have to have these three. Only when we reach the final Shiva Pramata level, there is complete absence of this differentiation or distinction. Otherwise, in all other planes, starting from the way that Mantra Maheshwara experience till the Sakala Pramata experiences, it will have the three. But the way each of the experiencer sees and understands and interprets is quite different. It is very similar to, if we want to have an analogy, the way you see and react and understand, let's say, if a flower is put in front of you, may be very different from what I would be seeing, right? Because of my preconditioning. I may like to plug the flower and put it on a flower vase as a decoration. You may like to plug the flower and offer it in a puja. So the way we are looking at the same object is very different. The way we are experiencing that object is different. The way we are interpreting the object is different. But when we are talking about the 7 pramadas or 6, let us say, it is beyond preconditioning. The way they experience is beyond this preconditioning. Okay. So anyway, so Jagat-traya in our system refers to this triputi of Pramata, Pramana and Prameya, which is the common denominator for any plane or any experience to take place. And Jagat is nothing but the region or the plane of experience. So Jagat-traya Devi is called as Hitaishini. Hita Aishini. Hita is benefit, okay, welfare. Aishini is one who desires. So once again, we conceptualize Shiva to be a dynamic entity, Shakti to be a dynamic principle, displaying Chit Ananda Icha Jnana Kriyadi Shaktis, not some static Sat Chit Ananda thing. So she has that desire, she has that Paripurna Swatantriya, complete agency, complete independence. So what she does is, out of her infinite grace, she wishes for this Tripudi experience to be understood in a more clear manner by the Pramatas. So that is how, when a Pramata progresses from being, let us say, a Sakala Pramata to a Shunya Pramata to Vijnana Kala Pramata to a Mantra Pramata, Mantreshwara and Mantra Maheshwara, the way he experiences the three, or the way he sees the distinction between the subject and the object, okay, keeps refining. So this refinement as a process finally culminates when we uh, uh, when we have recognized ourselves as Shiva, okay, into the perfect way of experiencing the world as something non-different from oneself. So Jagatraya Hiteshini as a Nama, Devi is responsible for the right understanding, which is the welfare. Okay, we are not talking merely about any physical thing. So, uh, giving us a progressive refinement in the way we experience till we have reached that perfect state of Shivatva, where we have unity consciousness experience there. So Jagattraya Hitaishan. Otherwise, from a very Laukika point of view, she is the one who wishes for the welfare of all the all the three worlds. So she ensures. That is why she manifests herself. Okay, time and again, whenever there is a requirement. So she is Jagattraya Hitaishi. Chamikara
Chamikara Chicha Ichandri.
Ruchi, I think. No?
Has to be Ruchi.
Chamikara Ruchi.
Chamikara Ruchi.
Chamikara Ruchi.
Ruchi.
Chamikara means gold, rather molten gold. Okay. Ruchi can also mean appearance. So Chamikara Ruchihi means one who appears like a molten gold. Yellowish. Can't even say yellowish. Okay, that's that color, okay, of the molten gold.
Molten gold.
So one who is in the form of the shining, lustrous, molten gold. So what is suddenly why are we jumping into the color or how Devi appears? Because we are talking of Jagat Bija, okay, then Jagatre Hitaishini, Jagat Jiva and all. And then suddenly there is a Nama Chamikara Ruchihi. So it might look like a jump of idea. But what is intended is the way we understand, or from the same points that we saw, when we follow the yogic path as per the Agama Sampradaya, starting from the Mooladhara to Swadhisthana, it is the Agni Mandala. Okay. And when we progress to the Surya Mandala, which is the next two chakras, and then we progress to the Chandra Mandala, which is the next two. So till Agnya Chakra level, right? So there is a color which is associated with these spheres. Agni Mandala is considered to be reddish. The Surya Mandala is considered to be white or bright. Not even white, it's bright. Whereas the Chandra Mandala is considered to be a mixed hue. Okay. The first two, which is the Agni Mandala, is the experience of the objective world in its differentiated manner, the way we are experiencing. And why it is called as red? Because this is where the language and the reality described, okay, has to be understood. The word rakta is used for red in Sanskrit, also for blood because of the color only. Okay, so rakta is the name given to describe that color. And the word rakta comes from the root ranjanat. Ranjanam means uh, where you delight, where you are covering up, or where you are uh, trying to juxtapose something upon the other. So that is called as ranjanam. It's like when a person paints using the brush. So when the brush stroke, okay, dipped in a color, falls on the canvas, the original color of the canvas is now overlaid with another color which the brush stroke makes. So this overlay of color by the brush stroke is called as ranjanam. And this is exactly what happens in our experience. So when a Sakala Pramata is experiencing the world, he is experiencing, like I said, based on our samskaras. So he is interpreting according to his samskara. So there is already a preconditioning which is deciding his current cognition also. Therefore, that current cognition is not complete. And as Acharya Kshemaraja in Pratibhagya Hridayam says, until unless you let go of this coloring, this conditioning, you are not going to be free from the samskara, because samskara is nothing but the incomplete experiences which creates or leaves an impact and affects the way we experience the next cognition also. So at the plane of difference, this happens. Therefore, that coloring is red. The next two, there is a clarity in the process, and the aham and idam, okay, is understood to be one, but not fully experienced that way. Okay, so that is why the color is white. That is a bheda way of explaining, right? So in the bheda, you know the difference exists, and the difference is not absolute, yet you are unable to let go because of the existence of the Maya and the Anavamala, okay, at a level, but refined than how the Sakala Pramata will have. So since there is a clarity there about the oneness of Aham and Idam, the color there is white. The last, which is a mixed hue, which is exactly what the gold, molten gold is, because you cannot exactly tell what color is the molten gold. Can you say yellow? Can you say red? Can you say white?
White.
It's a kind of a color which you cannot describe it. That's what we are calling as a mixed hue. Okay. It's the normal term used is Indradhanu. Okay, like a rainbow. Rainbow does not mean only that 7 colors. It only, we have to understand uh, when the scriptures speak of rainbow only on an analogy pattern. See, what we mean by a rainbow color is in our uh, kids painting, we clearly have 7 bands. Okay, and the colors are there. But when you actually see a rainbow, you will not know where one color ends and where the next color starts. So it is that it's a diffused manner, okay, in which it appears. So the last two, which is the Soma Mandala level, at the Soma Mandala level, it is Aham, the I principle, which is expressing itself as the Idam. And all this is the projection of one single entity or that consciousness, which is manifesting as, but that is completely undifferentiated manifestation. So this is exactly what happens at the Sadashiva or the Ishvara Tattva level. Because at the Ishvara Tattva level, we are having Aham Idam, Idam Aham. At the Sadashiva Tattva level, it is Aham Idam as an experience. So this is captured by the Indradhanu. It's a white light which diffuses, okay, into this, but it is completely undifferentiated. So this aspect is at the Soma Mandala level, which is also compared to this Chamikara, okay, the molten gold, wherein she is manifesting in as the Prapancha, but at an undifferentiated level. So now we can connect the Jagat Jiva, Jagat Bija and the Chamikara Ruchihi when we have the understanding in this particular manner. The next nama is
Chandri.
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 No, I think it's a long nama.
Okay.
Chandri sa Akshaya Shodashi
Chandri
Kala.
Sakshayo.
Sakshaya Shodashi Kala.
Correct.
Sakshaya Shodashi Kala.
Correct.
Chandri means belonging to Chandra.
Moon.
Chandri sa, Chandri both means the same. Okay, belonging to the moon. Akshaya, that which is immutable. Shodashi Kala. Shodashi, 16. Kala means part. Okay, so one who is the 16th part of the moon. Chandri sa Akshaya Shodashi Kala. So this brings us to an important concept of
Shodashi.
the Tithi Nitya Devatas, which are very important in the tantras. Each Pradhana Devata, especially we in the tantra we speak of two main division, which is the Sundari Krama and the Kali Krama. Okay, basically it is the same entity. In the Sundari we have from the Srishti point of view. In the Kali Krama it is from the Samhara point of view. So both these devatas have their respective Tithi Nityas. Tithi Nitya is each Tithi will have one presiding devata, which we call as Tithi Nitya. I'm not going too deep into the concept, but just for an surface level understand. Say, for example, this is the Shukla Paksha. Shukla Paksha Pratipad or Prathama will have one uh, Tithi Nitya Devata called Kameshwari. Dvitiya will have the Devata called Bhagamalini. So forth. Till we reach the Amavasya. Till we reach the Purnima.
Purnima.
Similarly, the reverse. Okay. The same 15 Devatas, they will be reversed. Okay. When it goes back to the uh, Purnima to the Amavasya. So in the Krishna Paksha and in the Shukla Paksha, we have the Devata, Tithi Nitya Devata who is responsible.
But then why
Over
16,
and
Shekharji? We are talking.
yeah, I'm coming to it.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to it. So each of these Devatas represent one aspect of that is why Prathama. Okay. So normally it will be Prathama and Chaturdashi, Dvitiya and Trayodashi. Okay. So it is representing one aspect the of the reality or the Devi. Okay. And Devi herself is not just the sum total of all, but also beyond being the added up parts. So she is the whole, okay, which is beyond merely being aggregation of parts. How do we understand? We should not think of Devi like the pattern that you get by bringing together Lego blocks. Okay, if you remove the Lego blocks, there is nothing that you will see there. No, that is why this is the 16th digit, which is the whole sum, which is the substratum on which all the 15 are overlaid. So, Chandri, what we experience in the Chandra. See, Chandra is once again because of our understanding of how and Tithi Devatas are Kala Devatas. So they represent the Kala aspect, the time aspect. And Shodashi is that substratum, okay, who is the sum total and beyond of this. So this is very similar to the Tattva Atita concept that we speak of. So she is Akshaya, which is uh, the principle which does not undergo any mutation. Okay. Shodashi Kala. And one small thing. The word Kala means where there is a differentiation. Okay. The word Kala itself means where there is a differentiation. So even in the Tattva scheme, when we speak of Nivritti Kala, okay, in Nivritti Kala, we have only the Prithvi Tattva. Why is it called as the Nivritti Kala? It is called as Nivritti Kala because after Prithvi Tattva, Shiva does not differentiate further. So the differentiation comes to an end. Okay. So that is why it is coming to an end. It's withdrawing. The differentiation as a process is withdrawing. So Nivritti means withdrawing. So Nivritti Kala, where the differentiation withdraws, which is the Prithvi Tattva. So like this, the other Kalas are also explained. So Kala means differentiation. All the Panchadasha, all the 15 Kalas represents the differentials, whereas the Shodashi is the word Kala in the word Shodashi does not mean differentiation. It means one who is Kalanam. Okay, Kalanam means the categorization. Okay, one who is understood as the various categories. One undifferentiated principle understood as the various categories because of, okay, the layer of feeling that comes over it. Shiva is one indifferentiated principle. But is he not experienced as the multitude? So this Akshayatvam, okay, this immutability of Shiva, okay, is something which forms the basis for all the differentials. Yet Shiva is an undifferentiated principle. Similarly, this Shodashi Kala is that undifferentiated principle on which all differentiations are overlaid. So she is the Shodashi Kala, or the fullness or the wholeness of the experience. So Chandri Sa Akshaya Shodashi Kala. We'll stop here,
Okay. Okay,
Rakesh.
Shekharji. Yeah, yeah. I think that's fine. Okay. Thank you, Shekharji. Then. Namaskar. Namaskar.